back to Street Pilot's Garage, and today we have an interesting video for you. What you see in front of me is a 2020 Indian Scout bobber, the full size, the 1200 or the 1133. And on my left, you see a 2021 Indian Scout Bobber 60. And for this video, a lot of people have asked, are the Freedom Performance decibel killers worth it? So what we're going to show you today is the Freedom Performance Radical Radius pipes on a 2020 bobber. Before the installation, we're going to show you the installation of the decibel killers, and we're going to show you the sound output after the decibel killers are installed to show you the tone and also the actual decibel reading to see if it's worth it. But because we have two bikes in front of us, we also thought it would be an interesting comparison, since we have the same exhaust on both bikes, to see which one is actually louder. Are the Freedom Performance Radical Radius pipes louder on a full-size bobber, or are they louder on a bobber 60? So without further ado, we're going to do a cold start test, because obviously I don't want to heat up the pipes and work on them after, and it's also going to be at its loudest, and we're going to show you the decibel readings of the bikes. Let's go. So what you see in front of me is the 1200 bobber, and we're going to show you what the decibel reading is, and we're going to do it under the Vancouver Police Department testing, 1 meter away at a 45-degree angle, and I will bring the decibel meter up to the camera. So let's go.
In 1 minute, buddy, I'm still
And now let's see how loud is the 21 bobber 60 with the same pipes. And remember, this is a cold start test when we're going to be at our loudest. Now that you guys seen this before, let's go show you how to install the Freedom Performance decibel killers, and let's show you how much do they actually baffle your bike when it's cold. And then, in addition, we'll do a little pass, and we'll show you how quiet they are after the bike has warmed up at its quietest. So for the next part is we're beginning the install. And one big tip is don't do this with your bike hot, as you can burn your hands. And even that small test we did outside, the pipes are already warm. So just forewarning you that it gets hot extremely fast. First thing we're going to do is we're going to remove the two black heat shields. And for this, you need a 10 mil ratchet or wrench and a flathead screwdriver, which I have right over here. So let's begin. For the bottom pipe, you need to remove 1, 2, and 3 flathead screws, and then you need to remove 1 10 mil pinch bolt. And for the smaller cover, 1 10 mil bolt right here, and a flathead screw right beside it, hidden behind the pipe. With your heat guards removed, now you have to detach your hollow baffles and turn downs from their bracket with 3 13mm bolts attached at the back that we'll show you here in a second. So this is probably going to be the most frustrating part of the removal, is trying to get the two pipes separated. Here's a quick tip: WD-40 or any oil penetrant sprayed between and give it a couple minutes to set will really help. And then we used a punch and a hammer carefully to spread the two pipes apart. And with some elbow grease and swearing and sweat, as you can see by my shirt, we got the pipes off. And this is how the pipes will spray. So this is what you will get with the silencer kit. The biggest difference is the extra baffling and the closed out plate with some holes inside of it to dampen the noise. New, old. Now to install, we're going to do it in reverse order. Again, a quick tip that I would do is using some WD-40 or any other oil penetrant, spray the pipe a little bit, just so that the other pipe will be able to slide over it with ease, like so. And then we're going to slide the baffled pipes over top. And as you can see, it's pretty easy to set them back if you just made them up to the previous marks. Voila, your pipes are installed back. Now, make sure that you can line everything up to secure the bolts at the back of the bracket that you removed earlier. With your quiet baffles secured with the three 13mm bolts at the back and your pipe clamps started and loosely installed, as you can see, we are going to fit back the black shields. With the pipes fully installed and the heat shields back on, by the way, the heat shields is probably only one of the most frustrating parts of the install, is trying to get all your clamps for the exhaust back on. And also keep in mind that some clamps are bigger and some clamps are smaller because your header pipes are smaller and your baffling pipes are wider. So save your bigger clamps for the back and your smaller clamps for the front. Otherwise, you might have to do it multiple times. Now that it's all done, we're going to go take it outside and we're going to do a decibel test at a cold start to see how loud the bike is or how much quieter it has gotten. After that, as any mechanic will tell you, take it for a road test and make sure that nothing's rattling, because especially with these kinds of heat shields, when you shift them on an install, you might be hitting something and it might start making a rattling noise and you might have to fidget and adjust. But also, we're going to warm up the bike and we're going to do a comparison of how loud the bike is when it is warmed up. And then you guys can also reference my previous video when we did the Scout 101 and my bobber to see how loud the bike is when it's hot. So let's go. All right, with the install complete, now let's see how loud it is. We have the decibel meter ready, the baffles are installed, and I honestly have not checked it. So this is me seeing it for the first time, just like you guys. So let's start it. And now for a tone comparison, we're going to start the one without baffles. Honestly, I don't really hear an audible difference. The decibel in are about the same. So let's go take them for a little rip and we'll compare them when they get hot. All right, so we just did a 10-minute road test. Nothing's rattling. And now let's see how loud the bike is warmed up, and let's see what the difference is between the baffled exhaust and the non-baffled Freedom Performance Radical Radius. Let's check the non-baffled one. So, in conclusion, the baffles really dropped you by about a decibel and a half. And now, what's important to know about that is that decibels They double in loudness every 10 decibels, but they double in intensity every 3 decibels. And one thing that we hear that you may not hear on the camera is that the high intensity on your ears and the ear ringing is kind of gone with the baffles. So do I recommend them? Yeah, if you don't want to have a headache when you're riding, but is it going to save you from a loudness ticket? I don't think so. So ride safe, and thank you guys for watching. Please subscribe.